Smiths and Kenny leading the server with 16 frags, a stark difference to Mirage.
Indeed, G2 have given themselves a really good chance here. And FaZe, you know, running out of some ideas perhaps here or there on that T side, and struggling with getting that momentum away from the G2 side. Now the pressure is really on. Pick up that pistol. Otherwise, you're going to be in some serious trouble here against G2. Okay, what do we have in the bag for FaZe? We've got the kit smoke on Karrigan, everyone else with Kevlar, as standard as you like. And maybe just a quick B-rush here from G2. Hard to argue with it if that's the case. They're going to go straight for it? Yes, they will.
Slowly jumping out. You can see Smith, his job there is a decoy just to pull the guns away from the rest of the team who are looking to frag. And that is a solid take of the B-bomb site. Rain and Nico charging through the halls area, and Existence doesn't get a frag, but he's got the info for his team. Kenny crouching now, doesn't really have the tool for the job of a Glock. The one tap from Nico, would you expect anything less? Karrigan delivering as well. Smith trying to force the issue out the window, manages to get a kill, get shots by the car position. There's one, now it's a 2 versus 1. And as soon as he engages here, Smith surely comes out, but that's why Rain's crouching. Double headshot from Shox. He is ready for map 3.
Yeah, great defense there. And I love that G2 just keep it simple with the B-rush. You know, sometimes you just don't need to complicate things. You know, we see teams on these pistols, they'll send players all over the place. And that, especially if you're playing against a team that's better, that's actually perhaps not a great way to do it. You want to keep things as simple as you can. Sometimes the B-rush is as good as any round. And we get the anti-eco buy here from G2. Well, if Meister going and getting himself a deagle, did someone drop that for him? Perhaps Guardian, because he's got deagle Kevlar.
Variance.
Yeah, standing in the smoke.
Karrigan's, well, the G2 VAR could be in the red right now. Is VAR variance? There's variance, isn't it? You know, on a net graph. That's what it stands for. What's going on there?
I'm not sure. Probably. I have no idea.
It must be variance.
I know that CVAR is a console variable.
So maybe it's variable something or other. Variable ability to play Counter-Strike, which is bad when it goes red. I'm sure somebody will tweet me what it means. Not what you think it means, what it actually means. Tweet me facts. You've got to hashtag facts, otherwise I won't believe you.
So what I'm worried about for FaZe here is if they spend too much money in this round and don't have a proper buy round on the first buy round. CT economy is notoriously flimsy on Dust 2. You need everything. Double ops really is preferred if you can get there. And absolutely you need full utility to battle for long and to still be able to have counter grenades late round and so on and so forth. So now we see G2 marching into the bomb site, looking to finish things off, and it's looking so good so far. Nico is still alive though. He is now the only one alive. That's one. How many more headshots can he find? One more to go. Nico always looks dangerous. Number 3 in the bag. 2 more players to go, and Nico has suddenly made this a round. I have no idea how. What else can he find? My God, this guy is something else. Smoke to cause pressure, but Existence will finish him off. My God, James, he has 1v5 and he makes it look winnable. Who is this guy?
He is so consistent with a Desert Eagle. I do not understand. I cannot compute.
I should say
he is so consistent. It's stupid.
Yeah, I shouldn't say who is he, but what is he?
What is he? It's a good question.
What is he? Is he human?
It's all that Serbian barbecue, man. It just gives you powers.
Powers unknown. Ooh. I feel awake now. I feel more awake.
Dude, Nico and a deagle, you just don't know. Well, you do know what's going to happen. People are going to get shot in the face.
It's true. It's true. I think Nico is top one deagle.
He's top 1 deagle.
Top 1 deagle.
Because he does it every time. Every time.
Like how they had like 4 people to take down Shox there. Like, you know, Shox is like a bear, and you got 4 people trying to like throw a net over it to capture it or something. Maybe Shox top 1 USP.
No, Dennis might have something to say about that.
Yeah, lots of players in contention for such things. Olaf Meister in there with a quick, cheeky USP frag. Obviously that silent does give you some extra time if you come in for the backstab. Hides your location. But it'll be 13-5. The worst has happened here for FaZe. They have lost not only one pistol round, but 2 pistol rounds, James, and combined with not the most ideal half, they now are really without any margin for error. They will be able to get the 2 ops together, but this has to start well. This has to go well for them.
Double sniper Guardian and Nico. This is a big buy, the biggest of buys for FaZe Clan, but are they expectant of something from G2? You can see Nico doing more talking, so maybe he has an idea, maybe of what G2 wants to do, maybe of what FaZe want to do. They will have position to begin with, for the most part. Obviously, the timing of long does allow it to be contested quite violently. So what do they choose to do? Do they put a sniper in position on long? There's a sniper flashbang support to help them. Many questions to be asked. It would be cool, actually, if we could... Oh, no, never mind. Kenny's got a spawn. Maybe he goes for a peek long. I was going to say to look at a CT who would throw the support flashbangs, but never mind. There we go. Rain will regret that one, but the other 2 CTs will take the area. Smith's in low tunnel in the meantime. Olofmeister moving around CT spawn.
What a start for G2. It gets really difficult on this map as the CTs. The rotations are so big. I mean, you can see it. Look how spread out on the mini-map the FaZe players are. That's always very difficult to deal with. And if Guardian, or rather, sorry, Nico's flashed off correctly and smoked off correctly, he shouldn't get a chance to really use the AWP as they cross over, if things are done as they should be. And he's going to reposition towards A long here, and it is going to be Olofmeister now creeping onto the A positions, playing the slope there, and G2 look like they are wanting to retake the long position. This could be a way back in for FaZe, as they have a defensible setup here.
There's a gap to have a look at. Oh, got to be careful, don't want to fall off. Oh, he's made a step, and he made a step, right?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. I thought I heard a step, but I'm not 100% sure. There's a flashbang from Carrigan, but he's not expecting the player on the high ground. There is some position. Nico with a nervous shot, perhaps, and he's out of position. That's a great frag from him, but he's got so many plays around him. Oh, the distraction is brutal. Olofmeister does what he can, but is not enough on this occasion. And now it's Guardian trying to run away, trying to escape as G2 move to 14 rounds. They may look good for this game, Dan.
Yeah, it's that first missed shot, isn't it? That's the one that Nico has to hit to make sure that he gives or relieves enough pressure so that he can take more time for his shots. And then it was just a snowball effect. And then you see Olofmeister from the graffiti seeing that, trying to make the play which gets the maximum amount of kills with the highest risk by waiting as much as he can, because now he's lost Nico and he's alone, so he needs to kill everyone, otherwise the round's just lost anyway. So it snowballs out of control, and Guardian needs to keep this AWP alive, and it looks like he's good for it at this point. It's defended well, but this is a very tough place to be now, James, because 14-5. You need, like, effectively for FaZe to have a buy, they actually need to half buy here and save for this last round and then play for overtime if you actually want a proper buy. So this is a very hard call to make, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, they have to win 9 rounds or 10 rounds. What is the difference? They'll go for it now. I don't know if there is a bad decision to be had here, really, because you can't really afford to lose a round either way. So whatever you think you can do better. They've got some utility. Guardian with the sniper. Where is Guardian? He's over towards the B-bomb site for now. Able to rotate as necessary. Olofmeister moving towards that car position with Guardian. Look at that peek from Guardian. This is what I'm talking about. The elevated peaks, if somebody has the angle, because, well, if someone has the angle, then obviously he would get legged. Those are one of the main things you can learn for watching Guardian.
Leg it.
Leg end.
Leg end, yeah. It is tough, and this is a position where teams like Astralis shine when they're down this much. Astralis is such a good team to look at, as far as how do you grind out a game when you have this much of a comeback to make. Rain is going to defend well here on the short position. That is the second one. Good defense on short. This has not gone well at all for G2. Now they're going for that drop down into mid, going for the B perhaps, but with this crossfire, that it could be offered up here. In fact, there's no crossfire, just Guardian, but maybe that's what you need. Second one comes in, Guardian is doing what he needs, what he must, to hold on to every single gun. They're going to not lose a single player. That is so important.
Yeah,
my God.
That is huge. Now that turns things around a little bit.
Nico gets an AK as well.
Nico with an AK and two AWPs on the side.
Gives it to Olofmeister.
Not a bad choice, really. Well then, 8th round for FaZe Clan, and G2 are going to have the Hero AK on Existence. And 4 CZs and the remainder of the team. Now,
give Shox AK.
Yeah, we get into that simple territory where why is...
Unless he's going to go in first for a pick and then the AK is going to drop straight away, you want Shox on it for sure, right?
Well, I just don't think there's any scenario where Shox doesn't have the AK. There's no acceptable scenario at all. Because if someone goes in first and you have Smith jumping around to take the bullet for the president.
President Shox.
Yeah, President Shox. Take these bullets, you fools.
Oh,
that's meaty like a lasagna. There we go, Guardian will be the first engager. Oh, he misses a free shot, strafing before shooting, and Smith is still alive. And now the numbers game, now the swarm comes in. The AK is still alive though on Existence. Can he get the frag? Smith can. That is a bomb site with G2. Nico has something to say about it, however. Bouncing the HE off the box, behind the Xbox, leaving Smith in the red.
He is very red, 18 health. That's a fantastic grenade from Nico. He goes for the peek. Oh my goodness, he knows exactly what Smith misses, it seems. Very nicely done, doesn't allow Smith to really do anything. And Nico, picking up that really quick shot into the window from the mid position was this one here. That was such a big shot. If he dies there, this round just is lost.
That HE is something that everybody... What?
Wait, what? What is that?
That HE that he throws is something everybody has to know, because I'm guessing a lot of people will go outside the window and just throw them towards the back box. But the Xbox is such a strong position to hold because you can see just the tip of the window where heads appear. So if you bounce a grenade off the back wall like that, it does massive damage, and there's almost always somebody there.
Speaking of big damage, Olofmeister with some good damage, and a fast timing here from Smith, just going in really quickly towards that A bomb site, which is really cool. That's going to pull the defense back from long perhaps, which might open things up should G2 have wanted to push long at the same time, but they don't go for that, and instead, hanging around middle, and Olofmeister and Guardian going to be enjoying that. 5v4 for them as Olofmeister up for the 1v1 against Smith soon. In comes the push, he goes for it. A beautiful flash comes in from a teammate, but he can't capitalize. Leaves it to Guardian instead.
Off angle from Guardian to start, because people will be looking.
Ooh.
And Body has snuck into a body of territory, which is not supposed to be his. Holding an angle as his teammates move in, but you can't really tell if somebody's holding that angle. If there was a sniper, maybe the barrel would show, but beyond that, not quite sure. Molotov to make things safe, but how do you get past Guardian? The bomb used as a, thrown over maybe. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe to run distraction in case Guardian was here. Firing in all directions. 5 bullets remain in his magazine, and he's got 4 targets to hit.
Yeah, this doesn't look doable, especially if you consider the economy game. Indeed, there it is. They can't afford to lose these orbs. Got to be really careful on the retreat here. You can't take it for granted. See, Guardian's far enough away now that he can scope in and fall back more. And G2 on map points. And
would you believe it?
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing. FaZe, they lost both pistols, and their first half their T side looked really flat. It looked really flat for a Dust 2 T side.
But it's great to see from G2's perspective, because we don't want for them to go out unceremoniously.
Yeah.
Not to say they will go out, but if they do, you want them to have a proper showing of themselves at the very least.
Yes.
And we're seeing that on Dust 2. Who knows what comes if map number 3 rears its head. But for now, we're seeing something of G2, which is really a sigh of relief after the horror, the nightmare, the crime scene that was Mirage.
Yeah, Mirage was just like a really disgusting meal, and this is the mouthwash right now. Just clean it all out. Minty, clean breath, forget about it.
This is the regurgitation.
That's not really exactly what I was going for, James, but you just want to say regurgitation? You just like these horrible images, don't you?
Regurgitation.
So
this is a Heimlich.
So now you're just saying random things.
Heimlich maneuver.
Yeah, what does that got to do?
It's not random, it's relevant.
Why is it relevant?
You spoke about meal, I spoke about regurgitation, and then Heimlich.
What,
it's all relevant, it's all related.
Are you saying G2 are choking or something? Or someone's choking?
It's another way to regurgitate, isn't it? The style points. Do the Heimlich.
The Heimlich maneuver. Alright. Also, a good song by Interpol. Anyway. Ooh, Olofmeister finds a pick straight away in this round. Definitely something FaZe needs. It seems like it was straight through the smoke, as that smoke is firmly placed in the tunnel there. And G2, a very quick 4 versus 5 to play off of. Are they going to mess around, or will they just try to take some map control here? You can see them making some presence around the mid area, and Kenny's looking for any investigation from FaZe, but at this point, FaZe are playing a fairly safe 2-1-2 setup. They've given up short entirely, and they would be playing a retake on A, but absolutely holding on to A long, which is good because the fastest rotation for retake for B players is through short. So if you're going to give up A for retake, you want to hold on to long. Oh, that's not a good look. So walks into the angle, no flash, nothing, James, to help him out.
That's not good at all.
Oh dear.
Neither is being on fire. I was on fire once.
What happened?
Not like Richard Pryor. I got shot in the stomach with the Roman candle and it burned a hole in my jumper.
Got shots by a candle?
Roman candle.
Someone shot a candle at you?
A Roman candle firework, yeah.
Oh.
Never mind. Alright, we've got peeks from the mid position from the T's. A smoke, not the best one, it must be said, and this is surely going to be a frag for rain. Surely Existence in the red, and that run distraction. They have to fear players from B, which is why Existence turns around. Nico does shoot from B. Sorry, from A rather, over the smoke. And now Kenny's left alone to wonder about Roman candles and such.
Do you think that's really what he's thinking about?
No. It's a lovely pop flash. Will he survive?
Oh, hello.
Olofmeister coming in like Wesker. Alright then, 7 rounds between the two teams. FaZe continue to climb the mountain. The timeout has been called by G2. They've just been reset. That's a nice position from Rain. You can jump up those boxes on your own, so you can preempt a mid to B smoke and take the plays by surprise, fall off afterwards. Nico was on the A slope, and of course he can see over the smoke and cover the doors at the very least should the T's move towards that B bomb site. Well, it's been 3 from the last 4 for FaZe Clan, but of course it was 4 in a row for G2 having won the second pistol round. Smiths is 20-for-9. He's the only person to die less than 10 times
playing that
in this game so far.
Playing that B box on the first half was really good for him.
He was well protected, like a mob boss.
Yeah. Oh, still nothing bought by G2 here. They're going full Glocks. Alright, okay. Get one flashbang from Existence, and that is it.
No, Dan, you're lying to your audience. You are misleading and defrauding the audience. Exactly.
As well.
Exactly. Thank you very much.
Well, I don't know how this... Well, I know exactly how this is going to go. It's not going to be pretty for G2. But that's fine. That's expected. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's... that's... what do you call that? What do you call that? A new round, perhaps. 9 rounds for FaZe now. They are, of course, a mere 6 away. Some rudimentary mathematics for you, Jay.
It's closer than you think.
It is, yeah.
6 rounds.
Absolutely,
because half of those are pistol rounds for the T's if they lose.
And also, if FaZe pick up this round, they face against an eco again, and should there be no complications there, they're already on 11 rounds, and all of a sudden it's not too far away.
I should say if the T's don't plant the bomb, then it's pistols. If they plant the bomb, they can buy every round because they get 4,200.
When it gets the 5th loss bonus, at least.
Yes,
that's.
I forgot to add that part.
Yeah. And he will be on the 3rd loss bonus after this round. Should they lose this round, and they're well equipped. We saw this position work out well previously. with some baiting, some footsteps, and then the flashbang came in from the CTs, and the peak came in, and well, hello, I'm above you.
So, from a psychology point of view, if you're trying to be an in-game leader spurring on your team, rather than 6 rounds, you can consider it technically 3 buy rounds. We've got to win 3 buy rounds, guys. Just focus on that, and that may be some mental relief for the rounds in between, where they won't feel the pressure so much and perform better, in theory at least, in my theory, Bible theory. Coming to stores now. Soon, rather.
So only 3 grenades here on G2. Well, okay, now 2. I'm not sure where that smoke just went.
There is a lurk smoke outside the B, well, inside B.
Because how do you get through these choke points now? Just 2 flashbangs? They're going to have to just hit some crazy shots, get some good peeks in. FaZe have 2 AWPs as well, and a man advantage and utility. Karrigan spotting one close. Nico goes deeper to find them, and can he hit the shot? There's the first one. What does Existence do? Does he focus on the man in pit or Nico? Well, Nico has support. There it is, and the setup will deal with the long push, and now it's just these 2 players coming up short.
They have at least pulled these players out of position, avoided the flashbangs, plant the bomb for short, hold on to short. That's Body's task, and he's got 2 players coming his way. There's no pop flash for the T's. The spray transfer not quite there. Kenny missing his shot, and obviously he's very exposed after that. Moving behind the boxes. Bananas a player close. Will they time it well? The CTs. Will they jump over to his right hand side? Double pick for the CTs, and there'll be no more frags for G2. FaZe Clan make it to double figures.
And they did get the bomb down, so half buy is possible here, where we'll see G2 spending some money on pistols, maybe I doubt we'll see much in the way of armor, maybe 1 or 2, but they can get some P250s, CZs, maybe a bunch of utility, and that utility you can do these short pushes. I mentioned one of them earlier, where you just hit that A bomb site. You don't need an enormous amount of utility, but you do want some flashbangs and a couple smokes. One smoke to help you get up short on the fast timing, and the second one to plant on short potentially, with a flashbang to just get you onto a bomb plant straight away, and then you play that post plant. You can see G2 are waiting or playing a bit slower here, and that's a good way to prevent yourself getting absolutely wrecked by an AWP holding mid. Ooh, are they just going to burst onto the B bomb site? That does look like what they're going to do. A B split here is coming from G2.
Lining up the smoke grenade. Shock's moving in. Who's going to see who first? There we go. Existence moving wide, and Shocks wasn't ready. Didn't have his gun out, it doesn't seem, but there he is at the 1D. Now there are 2 smokes down in the B bomb site. They're looking to burst Olofmeister. Does he let him run past? Oh, he's cleaning them up. He's bleaching the floors. But Kenny is still alive. Down to the pistol, and he's got to move before Shocks comes out the smoke, and there he is, of course, puncturing Olofmeister 2 on 2. And let's not forget, this is game point for G2. But how do they cross? Do they go at the same time? They're rotating out. They're taking massive gambles now, 40 seconds, and Kenny is in the site. I've seen this before on Overpass, where they have offered a fake with 1 player when they've only had 2 players alive. So he's going all the way around, nobody watching mid. And Kenny's going to have to die on his sword in the B bomb sites eventually.
This is actually, it's kind of incredible, because if you think about it, it could be a situation where they will hit the bomb plant and think that it's actually B if no one's watching this crossover, and then they'll run into Kenny. And Kenny, okay, yeah, Kenny's run distraction, so they can make the push across crossover onto the A site. So Shocks is on the A site, and they have no idea. And it's a 1v1 because Shocks picked up a kill as well with the Deagle. This is incredible. There's a real chance here now for Shocks with the Deagle in hand, looking for the quad kill. And he knows exactly where Karrigan is coming from. It is a hard and awkward shot, but Shocks is the man to make it as Karrigan pushes in with the nades. Every single nade. Oh, Deagle comes out, but the flash will make things a bit more difficult for Shocks. Can he find the shot? Some damage. Oh, it's the headshot from Karrigan. FaZe are kept alive by the skin of their teeth, James.
I love those plays from G2. We saw one on Overpass where Shocks and Kenny were outside Monster Tunnel, and 1 player stayed there with the bomb, if I remember correctly. Another player rotated through connector up to A and just sold a fake on his own. Something along those lines. It's really awesome to see. What an effort from G2. What an effort. And that was the half buy.
Imagine if you're Karrigan in that spot. imagine if you're Karrigan in that spot, you're retaking from CT. Okay, sure, it's, you know, the guy that's left has no Kevlar, but it shocks with a Deagle, and it's a 1v1, and if you lose the map, if you lose the round, sorry, you lose the map. That's actually pretty nuts. And that would be definitely a tilting way to lose the map after such a comeback. That was a lot of money lost for FaZe as well. They, of course, have had quite a bit of success in the last few rounds, so they're able to fully buy. And at this point, it obviously doesn't matter because lose one round and you're done. But still, it's nice to be able to have full utility. Oh my goodness, is this going to overtime? Quick long take from G2.
A flash to stop FaZe from advancing from that corner, but they continue with 3 players in tow. We've got a boost over the blue box. There's flashbangs now. This is getting super awkward, and this round may be won in this position. We've got more T's coming in. Existence just coming up. The smoke of a grenade in his hand. And of course, Karrigan's in his pit position, so that was catastrophic. Shox and Kenny remain. Now, Guardian's flanking. He's in T spawn, just holding an angle in case they escape. Because Kenny hasn't committed to long just yet. Shox having a look for something, has to position himself, has to hug that wall so he's not exposed to Nico. Kenny avoiding the flashbang and covering his back, and here we are, 2-on-2.
The dynamic duo, Kenny and Shox. You don't want them to be left. And here comes Guardian. Oh, that was a close one. Did they spot him? Looks like they did. They heard the footsteps and absolutely the scope, as Guardian knows now. And there comes the flash. Can he get to cover in time? Just barely able to escape. 50 seconds to go. Now Olofmeister closes in on the flank. And oh, they've forgotten about this position. Olofmeister looking for 2. And he's going to find 1 and the second. That is beautiful from him. Crisp, clean execution. And FaZe are on 12.
No bomb plant. Doesn't mean eco though. There was extra money in the bag for G2, so only one player is slightly short. Olofmeister all over this run with the last 2 kills. Again, the game sense is just through the roof. Infinite numbers is constantly spinning. He's in a matrix. 12-15 in favor of G2. Still at game point rather. They have lost 5 game points in a row. And this is their second last full buy, I think it's fair to say, unless they plant the bomb, of course. But they would be sans AWP, unless Body had the money.
G2, well, they go for that long take again. FaZe have been holding it fairly well. You can see them building that map control here into middle, and they have short as well, and a decent timing. They can just spring onto this A bomb site, and if they start tossing utility and they pull the AWPer towards crossover, and that means then Karrigan will be isolated in pits. That's one way you can do this. However, perhaps it's not convincing enough. Nico's still ready to throw nades there. In comes the rotation from Nico, leaving Karrigan alone. And this is the way you can take it. But if Nico, oh, that is so strong from Nico. He knows exactly what's going on.
Now there's a push towards that long position. Karrigan holding it down for the time being. Some flashes from the T's. And Karrigan still alive, picking Body off as well. This second last buy looking bad for G2 at present. 5 versus 3 in favor of FaZe. Karrigan managing to move into the pit position. In the meantime, Smith is in CT spawn, but that's only a cameo appearance in this round. Nico holding an angle now for the cross. While Karrigan's still in the pit, no more flashbang support for Karrigan, and he will go down. Nico trying to see if anybody jumps, but again, the awareness is awesome. He knows that this play can be made. Shox is charging through the smoke. They both know what each other might be trying to do. Constant maneuvering from both sides, but now Olofmeister's on the flank again.
Oh my god, what? Oh my god, Olofmeister comes in at the end. Wow, but both teams are playing this pretty well. I mean, G2 have been working as hard as they can. I love that they broke the crossfire with the smoke grenade to immediately eliminate Karrigan in pit, and then Kenny and Shox become so dangerous moving up long. But that kill from Nico was so critical. The whole... oh my god.
Wait, what?
What is that? I am out of words. I am out of words for that one. My god, Nico delivering for FaZe here. Olofmeister's been doing a great job as well, but again, the team play, the crossfire setup, very dynamic. Nico gets the first kill, and again, let's not forget, the T's are trying to pull Nico away from Karrigan so they can isolate Karrigan, kill him, and then overwhelm Nico as they push and split onto the A bomb site. Nico gets the first pick, which stops that, and that allows him to then go back and help Karrigan, and then Karrigan and Nico still playing off each other, and it's just so difficult for G2 to break it. That was, again, Nico is just playing out of his mind right now.
Even though G2 only have one full buy left, it's entirely plausible that they win the game with this buy. The CZs and so on, they seem to have an execute in mind. And again, we've seen the lurk smoke from them before. It looks like Smith is going to throw the lurk smoke into the B bomb site on this occasion. This is kind of more to the left is where you'd throw it from. You can bounce it off of that sign where the arrow is. And that's roughly the idea. Now, this is the value in throwing the lurk smoke on previous rounds where you don't really commit behind it with numbers, because when you finally do, they may not be prepared. And with Existence's smoke towards the mid position, they might not have so many players here, but there are 3 players towards this B bomb site.
Yeah, it seems like FaZe have completely read this. The perfect setup to deal with it. Guardian knows what's going on. The counter grenade's coming out. Olofmeister teasing. Oh, it's a leg shot though. It's a player was jumping. Guardian follows up though. Gets himself the second one. More to be had as FaZe will eat G2 alive on the push. And it does not seem like it's going to happen whatsoever. Existence finished off as well. And FaZe moved to 14. 1 away from overtime. 1 away from an enormous comeback.
Even though that did not work out for G2, the idea of just presenting constant evidence throughout a match, here's a lurk smoke here, lurk smoke there, maybe there's one guy behind it, maybe no one pushes, and then you burst through it, can have its advantages. But at this point, at this late in the game, when you've got nothing to lose in that round, maybe it's somewhat telegraphed, but it is something to think about. Now, the last buy for G2, the last round in normal time. Can they take this to a third map? Shocks in Existence, making their way towards long. Will FaZe have the investment they had in previous rounds? We've still got flashes coming in from that T side. You can see the lines being drawn in the sky, but FaZe refused to give up long. Existence taken out in isolation once again.
Yeah, this big fight is going the way of FaZe right now, as it seems impossible here for G2 to find the frags in the position that they need, and they have to abandon ship. Kenny and Body against 5 here to prevent overtime, and it looks like that's going to be very, very difficult. 4 FaZe players surrounding the bomb. How do you do this? G2, they have Kenny with that AWP. Kenny is the one that can do this, for if anyone can on G2. But the open spaces, the ability for G2 to, for FaZe to play off one another is so strong. And Body, can he help out? Kenny, that's a good first miss from Nico. Kenny will take full advantage. But there's the trade. Guardian, ever dangerous from B. Now Body, what on earth does he do? It's such a hopeless position to find yourself in, jumping across a voice Guardian, but you still got 3 players left to go.
Oh boy. That's a guaranteed... Oh, that's nice from Body. It was a guaranteed 3 versus 1 for FaZe Clan. Now it's a 2, and that will be enough for overtime. FaZe Clan, what a comeback that was. So many rounds with game points on the line, and now we finally see some smiles. Almost a smirk from Nico in the previous round, but now the relief is there. Just laughing like, look, wow, we are FaZe. Basically. Jeez Louise.
Oh my god. I don't know. I wasn't believing in it, James. I wasn't believing in the comeback. Were you?
No, I thought it was fairly likely. But look at the first map of the first match. So I thought it was fairly likely we would see 3 maps. But now you do start to wonder.
Yeah, they're all like, everyone on FaZe is all warmed up now. Warmed up to Dust 2.
Yeah, and you quite like, where is the momentum now? The momentum is with FaZe Clan. They appear to have solved the problems that were costing them rounds in the CT side. So you have to say that they have all the advantages now going into overtime. Also,
G2 won both pistol rounds, and the pistol rounds, the economy factor is not really present right now. So yeah, FaZe, they just have everything going for them. In G2, they must feel dejected after allowing that comeback. 32 overtimes. My god. 32 overtimes, that is unreal. Either way, double orbs here for FaZe. As you say, James, they have found great solutions. Their defenses on the A bomb side, on short, on long, have been really strong in the last few rounds. And that's very encouraging. They'll quickly abandon long, though. And G2, what are they up to? Looks like they may go for an A burst, but they need the perfect grenades here.
These are the Reeves of FaZe. Again, on the previous map, they were one step ahead of G2, and perhaps in this round, they are an abandonment of that long area. Carrigan is wanting something. Oh, Kenny says no, though. Existence charging up now. That's a 2-for-1. I'll take that. 4 versus 3 for G2 with more than a minute on the clock, and now Shox has moved into long. They've read the difference here for FaZe, but can you win the Geordie can't. Rain holding down the A site.
Rain is just so consistent. The bursting is so strong. And now comes the push. 2 players left here for G2 as they close the distance on Rain, but he is just such a problem, and he'll buy so much time and finish off the last one. Rain is just so good. My goodness. When Shox is just charging up long with the AK, just the bursting style of Rain is... There's no one quite like him. A very special player indeed.
Credit to the flashbang support from the team as well. Very important on CT Dust 2. Very important. 2 AWPs for FaZe. And 1 for G2. They've got to get something out of this round, because they'd have no money otherwise. Body can't get a spray transfer. Nico to trade, trying to fall back around the corner. He manages to do that. We've got Jules in the mid position. Bullets whizzing past Smith with some pre-fire here and there, trying to keep these CTs entertained and slow down the rotation as G2 move away from long.
Yeah, that was quite dangerous. FaZe actually predicted a B play, stacked 3 players towards B, expecting a B rush perhaps, and that has created a really big window for G2. The one for one favors them as they try to play the clock now, slow things down. But in the meantime, FaZe will push upper dark, so FaZe know exactly what's going on, I think, now. And so they can position themselves effectively. Nico in the, or rather Guardian in the open, picks off 1, somehow gets out of there. Nico does damage as well. What do you do from this position if you're G2? 2 AWPs on this A position, looking very strong. And they just have to jump across. They'll make it across. Oh, this is so difficult.
Flashbangs could be very dangerous here. 4 CTs, 2 flashes as a boost as well, but Kenny's found one of them, maybe shooting through the smoke, I don't know. A flash of his own, bomb getting planted. Once again, Olofmeister slowly emerges. His shadow looms large over this whole map, and he's moving up the long position. Rain, has he been heard? Shox seems to... No, he's looking towards short, in fact. Olofmeister should have gone down there, surely. But Kenny now, he's exposed. He's a player close. His angles are very limited. Shox delivering 2 kills from that short position. Olofmeister will trade 1-on-1, and Kenny will finish off the job. G2 winning the round. They had to win that round. If they went 0-2, 0-3, would have had high percentages. But they go 1-for-1 so far. 3 rounds a half in this overtime. I don't even know what overtime this is for this major so far.
Oh wow. You gotta love the Kenny and Shox combo. That is quite the 1-2 punch right at the end. And their quality, their class will save the day for G2 as Kenny looks for the gap shot. We haven't seen, I don't think, anybody landing a kill, I think, today on the gap shot. And Nico and Guardian with the AWPs once again. 1 round apiece. Definitely, considering how much of a struggle it became for G2 in regulation on the T side, must feel good to pick up that round. It was hard fought though, and FaZe changed their setup. Look at this presence on the short position. We haven't seen this before from them.
30-second overtime. This major. The second flash catches the peak after they avoid the first one. That's a great bait from G2, and it gives them a lot of advantages. But Nico, he's in an exposed position. More flashbangs. He'll have to concede the site. And Shox is on long already, which means that Olofmeister's lurk will be harder now. 5 versus 3 in favor of G2. Body and lower tunnel moving towards the box, and Olofmeister's coming down the stairs. Looks to his left, still frags to his right, however. So now there is a way for FaZe to get back into this. It's
going to be very difficult though. In G2 looking in really strong post-plant positions. They've got a player deep on long, 1 behind the car, 1 graffiti, 1 on the bomb boxes. That is so difficult, and there's no Molotov to force any of these players out of position. Olofmeister, though, he's been incredible, as have the rest of the FaZe players. But Kenny S will deny Olofmeister. Trade comes in, and they start to reveal themselves one after the other from all these positions. Guardian makes a good go of it, but it's the second T round on overtime 1 for G2. And after that massive comeback from FaZe, that's got to feel amazing.
Trivia, if you have an AWP, you can shoot through the car on long. If somebody's hiding behind it, just aim at the windows and you will pretty much eventually shoot them in the head. But of course, Nico didn't know somebody was there, wasn't in a position to really concede where he is for a guess. And there's the second round. So many guns aimed at him.
The Smith through the smoke, he's just such a gangster with smoke kills.
Yeah, this has been his major for smoke kills for sure. But will it be their match? Will it be their map to take to the third? They have a 1-round lead at present. We're looking for the first team to 19 rounds, which means that FaZe have to win all 3. G2 just need to win 2. And Rain and Olofmeister have made their way into long.
Yeah, fast round from them. Fast long take, that is. And, you know, again, the reactions are fairly... I mean, it's pretty obvious the rotations you force after that. You take away long. CTs have to put those players on short, which is what we see. So how you then deal with that situation is up to you. But if you want to go B split after that, the rotation is very easy for the CTs. So building into a short take can be quite powerful. As I say that, Smith pushes into the B tunnels, and that's not a good look for FaZe. They are... Oh my god, he goes back across, he's crazy.
That's beautiful, but he has the information. The bomb comes up on the radar. I was about to say, that would have been very interesting because FaZe were already rotating towards the B bomb site, and G2 would think, okay, there's no one else towards B, they have to go away, and FaZe were thinking, they think that, but we're already going towards B, but the jump back from existence spots the bomb and cancels all of those plays. So that may have been a slight, well, something for FaZe to exploit despite being in a 4 versus 5, and now they're back towards that A site. And again, they are a man down.
I've got to just walk into A. What is the plan for this round? Walk into A. That's basically what they have to do now. They just walk up long straight into the A side. And if they lose this round, they're going to have to win 2 in a row just to force another overtime. This is getting very tricky here for FaZe. And there come the counter grenades from G2. There's more, and the time pressure is going to play into this as well. As G2 try to slow him down. Shock's caught with an aid in his hand and smokes across the site to make things difficult for Kenny. Can they get the bomb down? Looks like they can, just in the nick of time. FaZe in a 4v3 afterplant somehow. Very good work from them.
I just saw the most ridiculous frag from Guardian around that car position, and suddenly they turn it around. FaZe. G2 caught going for gimmicks, and that has compromised their advantages in this round. They may even lose this. How on earth do they get something done? Is there a hole in the defenses? A quick peek from Rain, and there's one attack in the box for G2, and they get absolutely wiped out. They keep going for those gimmick smokes, but that was just a second too late for Shox deploying it. A free kill for FaZe. Plenty of position. You see him getting caught there. Matchmaking straps, that's the frag from Guardian. I don't even know how he found that one. And after that, it all fell apart. Rain baiting with a very fast crouch peek. Well, stand and then crouch again. I don't know if there's a name for that. I feel like G2 gave that away. I mean, they can't know what's around the corner, right? But it's just hard to watch when you see them lose their opportunity like that.
Well, it's Shox's position. You know, he has the 20 seconds left in the round. He could have just dropped the smoke earlier, but maybe we'll come back to that point because Nico will charge down long position. Blind. So very blind. Oh, body does some good damage back in. G2, they very well should have won that last round perhaps, but they've sure as hell have made a good go at this one. They've got the great advantage. Rain and Olofmeister tanked up significantly. Long position still held by G2, and Olofmeister, he's been a multi-tool. He's been able to get them out of so many situations. Oh, but not this one.
You see how he peeks the ramp but with his back to the wall. It's a very common thing in professional Counter-Strike because there's a very strong double peek you can have there with the ramp player and body. So one of the ways to try and avoid that is to have your back to the wall and go very, very wide on the peak towards that ramp position. Olofmeister close but not quite. Leaves FaZe in a 3 versus 5 situation. Hasn't stopped them before though. Again, first team to 19. One of these teams must win both of these rounds, otherwise it is overtime again. The bomb dropped by Smith. Sees one more player, Carrigan taken out. Now that leaves Guardian alone in a 1 versus 5, trying to stave off game point again for G2. And he can't get anything done. No damage, no impact. Game point for G2.
Yeah, and I'm starting to think back to that round where there was 20 seconds left and Shox is caught with an aid in his hand. Because it would be map 3 already if they had won that one. It's not over just yet, but can they do it again here? FaZe will have enough money on that T side, so you get a buy in this third round. We'll see a UMP in play. Or a Mac 10 actually, it seems like. Perhaps there was a misbuy there, I'm not sure. But Guardian has the Mac 10. Looks like someone has called a B rush. Is it actually going to be a full-out B rush Oh my god, so I think someone missed a nade as well. In they go. Will this work? Smith takes down number one, and a second one will miss. And they can see the site.
He can't re-peek. Oh, Nico in position to cut off the rotators as well. Do they have the retake grenades though? The Molotov where Olofmeister is standing right now. We've got a molly on shocks and a molly on body. If Olofmeister stood under the window, it would be really hard for the CTs to deal with, and they're going to have to wait out the initial grenades. A Molotov landing on Smith's chin. And another one coming from Carrigan. Nico with a superior angle, just like an inner frag. They're getting his bell rung, but he's shut this down. And it looks like we are going to overtime too, unless we see some heroics from the final two players.
Time is running out here. Now it's just down the body, 1v4, and he'll get shut down. And indeed, overtime too. FaZe bring it back with a B rush. Whoever had the balls to call that, that's pretty awesome, James. I respect it. I respect the B rush.
You know that the T's, once they get into the site, it's always a Molotov, never a smoke on the window position. If you put a smoke up there, it does allow the CTs to burst through it. You have less of a warning with them in that position. And I did wonder with those mollies coming in if G2 would try to smoke it or something with the time ticking. But Nico was a huge problem from short to outside B. He really closed out the round for his team once they were in position on the B bomb site. And here we go again. Yet another overtime. 18-18, the first team now to 22 rounds. You can see the emotions, people getting frustrated, maybe feeling their best chance is gone. And indeed, face OT, we're at number 33.
Face locked. Right. No gap shot connected once again. Slow start here, and very standard from G2 and FaZe.
It's not a time to admire fruit baskets, Carrigan.
And FaZe will not send anyone into the dark position, and often you'll do that because you can just cover more bases and you can still end up at short, but it looks like they want a faster timing onto short, which is indicative, as we're not seeing the default, that they may just want to burst or walk onto the bomb site. We'll have to see. And he's waiting though, his position's so strong. Surely he hears this, oh, the timing comes in, and he's falling back, he's caught completely off guard, and that's an open A bomb site.
Absolutely outmaneuvered, on shorts, on long, that is a wrap, that's the round over. It is time to save, 3M4s, AWP taken away, Shock's getting tagged. What a disaster. You can't even really say that Kenny was unlucky, just completely outplayed there by FaZe. They had a read that they may be a sniper. Obviously, they've got snipers of their own, plenty of them on their T side. They know the angles that the CTs will like to hold, and it is completely avoided, outmaneuvered. Existence and Shocks remain 2 versus 5, and there are big monetary problems for G2. Again, if you lose the first round, if you get wiped out in the first round as a CT side, especially when AWPs are involved, if you lose 2, you're so short on round number 3, so short. So they managed to get 2 AKs out of it. If we get some AKs onto Shocks and Body, then that might be very interesting indeed. No reason for Existence to engage in that duel at the end. There's nothing he can get out of it. He must save his weapon. FaZe Clan 19-18. Again, it is the first team to 22 rounds we're looking for to either take this to a 2-0, sorry, a 1-1, or take it to a 2-0 and send G2 Esports home. AWP for both sides well equipped as it is round 2. 3 rounds and a half again. Guardian moving towards long. There are some flashes from the T side, but there will be no engagers from the CT's. Existence charging up. Has he been heard by Rain? Rain jumping up. Will there be a trade? The transfer being attempted by both sides. They will be Shocks to trade. 4 versus 3 very early on. And we have a fast moving round now. Nico moving up the long position. Carrigan taken out towards B. But where is the boss body? Doesn't know how close they are. Sees both players, and this may be a fast round, very fast round. Yes, it is. 19 apiece. Very fast round indeed.
1 for 1. Suddenly these teams have found quite the level footing as we move into overtime. And it's been really interesting so far to see what makes a difference. And G2 a team that gives up long on the CT side more than a lot of teams tend to. And still it's been a struggle for FaZe to capitalize as perhaps much they'd like. And here comes the long take once again from the tees. Oh, Hofmeister surely knows he's got a frag there indeed. Rain will finish it off. And that wall of smoke's very difficult to deal with. What is the response here from G2? You hate this as the CTs. You have to give up that long position. You're down a man. You know you have to respond somehow, but what is the best choice? We'll see a rotation in towards the mid position. Existence trying to offer some support here. Flashbang to peek with. And Kenny doesn't see a single thing. That's certainly going to tell them one thing. There's a lot of players on that long area. Carrigan looking for the rotation as well.
Oh, Existence trying to bait almost, but that is a costly bait because he's been taken out. Carrigan is still in position. Kenny's still on short. There's a grenade to finish off the job. Maybe Existence saying he's got to be low. I don't know what the French for that is. Can he move from his position? Guardian still has control of long, and that might be where Shox is headed, but how much time really is there? Nico on the site, Rain on the slope, Olofmeister at the car position. There is the first frag. Smith's looking for an angle, but surely he gets traded. Best case scenario for G2. Trying to bait Rain now. Olofmeister will take the baits and take him out. And now Shox slowly coming in from long, but Guardian's in the pit position. The head is shown, but there's no frag for him. 1 versus 3 for Kenny. It's the last round. He's got to go for it. Olofmeister, though, will instantly trade. Perfect angles being played by FaZe. Good for a one-round lead at halftime.
Yeah, this time they're up on the lead, which they were not with on the first half of the first overtime. But perhaps this overtime will be more kind to them. Let's see if they can close things down as they move on to the CT side. And maybe that's on G2. We haven't seen too much aggression from FaZe on that CT side. They play it fairly standard. And, I mean, sure, of course they can. I mean, they're FaZe. They have amazing individuals, and it's up to G2 to find a way to break that. And if we remember to some of the CT sides we've seen recently from FaZe, they've had great success holding against these A-long attacks. In fact, not only have they had success there, they've often won rounds there. So that seems to be a no-go for G2. So I have to wonder at this point, will G2 find another way? Will we see more B? More B splits? Haven't seen many of those.
Oh, people are starting to get cheeky now. Guardian having a look through the doors, and there is no harm done to either side, but it is a warning shot. Things changing now. And we see this boost that we were talking about many moons ago in this game. Carrigan alone towards long. There is, actually there isn't flashbang support. Nico with no grenades on the A site, no flashes rather. Well then, what did G2 choose to do? What is their approach? Guardian getting even more cheeky towards B. Close, but a jiggle peeking will do the job for G2.
Yeah, they got that short position, have G2. Again, in fairly standard, you got short, you got longhouse, you got someone in dark. Now some teams will try to figure out what the CD setup looks like. Ooh, oh my god. Olofmeister's on 6 HP. Oh, some shots through the smoke, angry shots as he fades away to safety.
I'm amazed he fires a bullet there. I thought he might try to punish the reload, but who knows if there's a second player just waiting for that kind of play to come in. Charging through to the A site now, RG2, or trying to. Existence falling first. Bombs on the floor collected by Kenny. Nico missing the flick, and he's got to fall back. Carrigan's there for support. They can hold on to long. Body is lurking though, and eventually FaZe long players will have to focus on A.
Yeah, there's no one coming up short here for FaZe, which means that this will be very difficult. Obviously, there's a good setup there from G2, but that's one of the best ways to secure this round on the retake. Coming from CT is very difficult, and Kenny holding this angle. If there's no flashbang, it's going to be very hard to stop him. Time is running low now here for FaZe. They've got to make the move forward. Shox is bearing down on them with that AK. The tap's coming out as he will annihilate Carrigan and Guardian. And there's little left now for FaZe to make this one work. G2. Really good finish to the round. Got to respect that.
Yep. Side of the face. Well then, 2020. First team to 22. One of these teams must win both of these rounds, otherwise it is overtime again. 2 AWPs on the T side now, and I would expect an AK to be on the floor in this round. Auto sniper as well, really ramping up the damage. They've got the money to afford to do this, even though it's not the last round. Oh, there we go. Olofmeister taken that. That's a huge frag. Although what isn't on FaZe Clan?
Yeah, that is an enormous frag, you're right. And let's not forget they don't have any utility. This really, 4v5, you've got no utility with 1 minute and 40 seconds left. On the CT side, it does too. That's a call to action right there. You've got to make some plays happen. Nico's the one to try to do it with the boost, and this is very difficult. You can see, oh my god, this just makes me nervous just watching it. And the flash comes in, that's going to force him back, and they spotted the boost, which means that they have information that there's 2 players on short, and considering that they know that there's only 4 players on phase in total, they can assume that long is safe to take. And indeed, they can just move into long, and they figured it out. I think have they figured it out?
But look at Smith. He's at the bottom of mid with the bomb. They haven't seen that, but he must be careful. Rain looking over the smoke, and I don't think they're going to see any players from short. You can't see through Suicide, so they won't see this rotation. Will they go towards long? Because Existence is still deploying grenades, so this is going to be a nasty surprise. FaZe Clan focusing on the A bomb site. They don't have enough info. It is Guardian now. He sees that there's one more player there. He can go for these repicks, or can he? Kenny says no.
That is a beautiful refrag from Kenny. So important. I think everyone expected GT to go A there, and they really throw FaZe forward. Wow, that is incredible. Nico finds Existence on the flank. That's a very important kill. Maybe there's a chance now as they go 3 versus 3. There is an incendiary on Nico, so there's some utility to play with. But how do they get in here? Looking for a pick, something to be offered up. But looks like no one's going to move a muscle there. The incendiary will force Shocks forwards. He goes for the peak and bats into Carrigan. Can't quite find the frag quickly, but still gets it in the end. And there's no response here from FaZe.
They've got no kits.
Yeah, they'll turn and save.
They've got no kit, so that will shut down the round. And it is, again, I don't know how many game points G2 have had at this point, but here comes another one. If they can get that consecutive round now, well all 3 rounds in this half, then they are good to go for map number 3.
It was so... I hope that was a conscious choice from GT, because it was very smart, because if you're in GT's position, you're down a man, you're thinking, we're 2 players on the A side of the map. They spotted 2 of us on short. That means they know A is for free. And then G2 goes silent, and FaZe have no info on long, so they can only assume that they're going A long, and G2 hit them with a B at the perfect timing, and now they've got 4 auto snipers. Okay, so apparently 1 auto sniper did a better job than 4.
FaZe need a restraining order, because that is way too much harassment from G2. Rain and long, Nico and Carrigan in short and CT spawn respectively. The Carrigan's moving away from spawn. Olafmeister with a push with a UMP. They've got 2 UMPs and a CZ. His body has gone out. Is he ready for this? Olafmeister has to fall back, or does he? They think he's going to fall back, so he moves forward. A flash from his teammate, but everyone's flashed. Everybody's blind, and everyone gets away with their brazen plays. That could have been it for FaZe.
Yeah, you can see how much they really needed a frag there. You won't get too many opportunities to get a man advantage, and with the CZ and UMPs, you've got to find it somehow quickly. Can Nico be on point here? That's such a hard shot. That's such a hard shot. Carrigan there to support. Is he looking to go for something here? Again, they need to make plays here. They've got to take risks, and he goes next to the smoke. Now this can work, but G2 don't seem to want any part of that smoke, and they are holding off at the moment, looking towards B.
They know there's a UMP on B. Nico's fired 1 shot. They know there's an AWP on A. What would you favour? Olafmeister playing close. He is expectant. He prepares a flashbang. Carrigan starting to move towards CT spawn area. Nico starting to push that short position, but the T's aren't really in position. So, I mean, the CT's rather. Olafmeister taking out Guardian towards a car position. There he goes as well. Surely now G2 can do this.
Yeah, this is looking so strong. Again, very little retake grenades coming in here. Carrigan looking for a headshot. Will someone offer anything to him? Looks like that's not going to be the case. They are playing it so supremely safe. Rain, oh my god, how is he alive? 1 more step forwards and he would be dead, but it might not matter. Nico finds his way. I think it might have been off the back of a boost or something. Finds a frag, but again, the return kill's coming in. I have no idea how this is happening. Rain just forcing his way in with Carrigan's help, and now Shocks waits, looking for the clutch. My goodness, Carrigan, is there time?
Oh my god, how in the blazes are we going to overtime again?
Wow, how did Carrigan make that shot work? That's incredible.
There was a huge boost from Nico. Wait till you see this. That was crazy. I can't believe they haven't won the game. Oh, they don't have it, unfortunately. There's too much going on at the same time.
Absolutely denied.
But there was a boost over the wall. I saw a cap. I saw the cap of somebody's head near the entrance to B, and there we are. Another overtime. G2, they just can't tip it over the edge.
Just think how close that was. Just how much on a nice edge that was. The fact that Rain was in the tunnels and he was so instrumental, and he had a nade out. I had no idea he was about to be peaked. I think it was by an AWP or something, whatever it was, would have killed him if he just moves 1 inch further forward. But he was completely safe, able to pull his gun out, able to come in at the perfect timing as Karrigan forces his way in as well after Nico gets traded. So much going on there, just a game of inches.
That's the problem with FaZe. That is a problem with FaZe. They can always win the rounds. They can always win the round. 34 overtimes.
Oh my god.
34 overtimes.
That's insane.
Double AWPs once again for the CT side. We've got another cheeky peek. Kenny's ready for it, but a slight move, a slight strafe before he shoots. And once again, there is an escape from Guardian.
And the boost comes in again and might just catch someone this time.
Oh, he saw the legs. That's the problem with the boost, is that behind that box you can't see much. Smiths will decapitate Rain. Closed casket funeral for him. Nico's still on that short position.
Feels like FaZe have played a man down quite a few rounds now on this CT side. Shox moving up close. So in all the distraction in middle, Shox is finding space on A long. He might soon find himself on the A side. There's 3 players here though. Shox looking for a shot there. He's been discovered. His body finds the push. Molfmeister, who sees so much pressure on A, he's thinking, I gotta go for the push, I gotta flank, but gives himself up the body. And now there's a free passage to that B bomb site.
Guardian, does he peek T-spawn? He sees one player in mid, so he probably doesn't, and that is quite the shot from Smiths. Hello. The bomb was outside long this entire time. They've had B for a while, G2. The bomb is still rotating. Smith has secured lower tunnel, so Shox has a chariot into the B bomb site. The carpets are out.
I was wondering if Guardian even wanted to do anything there, because this is the first round of overtime 3.
LeFay checks everything. He doesn't believe his teammate.
And you've got double AWPs and an M4, and so double AWPs are so expensive, and you really want to have those moving into the next rounds. Again, if FaZe are to lose the next round and they lose the AWPs, then
they're broke.
They are very broke, yes.
They are broke, and again, that will just mean that G2 have another opportunity, another opportunity to take it to map 3. How many G2 players does it take, or no, how many rounds does it take for G2 to take it to a third map? That is the current question we are asking. FaZe fighting for survival now. Smiths is going to get sent into oblivion as a flying existence. He goes down as well. So some highlights for Nico as he tries to hold on to this AWP.
It looks like he's going to do it. Ooh, he is so good. He's so damn good.
Almost a saving ace.
All those shots were pretty damn nice.
Memories of Fifth Laren.
I mean, of course it is, as you say, you know, kills when you're saving, but they're actually, those are really important kills. Those are so important. He has to hold on to the AWP. I mean, look at the money right now. You guys will see it in a moment. Nico has $250. He just had to drop to his teammates. They got nothing if they lose this round. Nothing. That is some pressure.
Yeah, they've had plenty of it this round so far. Now Kenny doesn't shoot through the smoke because he's seen Guardian twice looking in front of the smoke. So maybe FaZe, they get towards B for free. A pop flash for Nico to secure the long position, but maybe he will engage shots later. Is he going to dry peek? He is going to dry peek.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy tough. Crazy stuff from Shox, and it does not pay off. And if they move into the B split, they will be sorely disappointed. FaZe, for whatever reason, decided to go for that 3-man setup straight away towards that B bomb site. Ooh, Guardian must be cautious there. Rain he is salivating. He knows there are frags coming his way.
Rain loves standing on planks of wood.
Yes, it's a favorite pastime, and that is why.
Well, this is looking very free for FaZe, and it's exactly what they needed. Again, we spoke about the monetary problems that they might have. Some bursts from Karrigan, and now it's body 1 versus 4. He has time. He does not have position. Karrigan has an off angle, but they know he's top mid. The Molotov will allow the CTs to get into yet better positions. He has an AK, however. That's a saving grace. He can pop heads. Squeezed grapes. They concede very easily. Karrigan moving into the T-spawn area. And Body now has 28 seconds as he respects the smoke, holding a gap. And all he can do, the thing is, he kind of needs to save his weapon here because Smith's at 2400 and Kenny S has got 1750. Now there's 3 players surviving for FaZe, and you wonder if they'll continue to hunt. Yes, they will.
22-22. And as you say, that is so important. They will avoid any money issues, and Nico's just so good. So damn good. KG2, what is the play? What is the play? Again, this is what I think gets kind of dodgy, because they definitely have been shying away from the A-long plays. They're going to go for it this round, but FaZe have been defending them pretty well. But you can see that FaZe actually don't have too much presence here, and this might be the perfect round to pick. Oh my god, Existence gets right around the side. There's Smith to get the frag as more damage is done, and Nico's isolated in the corner by the car. This is really bad for Nico right now.
He's blind, there's fire near him, things are warm, he's confused, not quite sure who to talk to. Just an old car for friendship. Now, there's no MVP on long. Well, the angles are irrelevant. 4 versus 3 as players a lot on both sides. Nico has been dispatched off by Existence. Again, that car is penetrable. It's a paper car.
And this is really rough now, because G2 have such a good approach onto the A bomb site, and FaZer trying to get position here. I think they get a boost in. I'm not sure if they got a boost in there onto the short position. Perhaps Rain boosted off Meister. But how do they deal with this approach from G2? They don't have anyone on the bomb side to stop anything. Well, that's one way, but the trade comes in onto Olof from Kenny, and Guardian is doing more damage. My goodness, Rain! Oh my god, that's so close. There goes, oh no, he whiffs the underhand throw of the HE, and that's going to cause problems. Smith stays alive and gets the bomb down. That's huge.
Down to the wire. No grenades for the T's. Existence holding on to long. Guardian creeping up short. Sorry, creeping up the slope, and Rain's making his way on short, so Smith is in a lot of trouble. There we go. Now Existence with an off angle. No flashes, but there's a smoke on the bomb. Guardian taken out, and he's got to get his skates on. Rain going for the hero diffuse, coming off it. He knows he's got to draw Existence out, and there is the round for FaZe, and they're happy with that.
Oh, what a close one. Guardian, how on earth did he get those kills? That was so important. Nico's on 44 kills right now, 44 for 28. And the closest man to him is Kenny S with 36.
And that's match point for FaZe. They've got 2 match points now.
That's the first time we're seeing that in overtimes.
Match point FaZe. G2 have had plenty of opportunities to take this to map number 3, and everyone has failed. FaZe have had the most unreal comebacks, but it wouldn't be FaZe without them.
Absolutely, yeah. They've really come together here, and Nico stepped up in such an important way. And I got to hand it to Guardian too. Pretty much everybody on FaZe has really been doing a great job. And Carrigan has had some great plays too. And the fact that it's going to take all of that effort from every single individual of FaZe to take this one, that's a testament to G2's ability here on Dust 2 so far. And wow, they're going so aggressive. Oh, Kenny's so lucky to be alive here. Existence, do they realize he's so deep? These smokes, oh, surely they must know. And Guardian with a very fast flick there to deal with him. Kenny S knows they have to get something out of this. Tries to stay in a forward position, but he can't for much longer.
They're moving towards Shocks. He can hear them. He's got the M4. He's got some cover. Carrigan flying onto the car, and that is surely that 4 versus 2. FaZe now with the advantages. Body trying to charge in. Not quite happening for him. He has a Molotov. Kenny looking for a flanker, and of course it's Nico on short again. And G2 are moving away to the A site. But unless I'm missed, am I confused? Is this not match point?
Hang on. No, it's not.
It's not match point. Okay, I'm confused.
It starts to get...
Oh, you know what? I completely misread the scoreboard. Looked at the blue, that's why.
Yeah,
excuse me, it's 25, isn't it?
That's the same thing.
Okay.
Rudimentary mathematics, James.
I'm back in a room, ladies and gentlemen.
Everything goes upside down when you get to overtime number 3.
Yes.
Everything's upside down.
We are back in the room. We're back in the room. That'll be interesting.
Eventually, we're going to
Eventually, we're going to have people saving against match point.
Yeah.
Eventually, we will. It'll probably be me.
That would be the best way to, well, the worst way to go out of a...
No, I mean, with the tweets players get when they lose a match. That's not. You don't want to be in that. Oh my goodness, Guardian.
Incredible, isn't it?
Oh, that's a nice correction from Carrigan. So now we are at match point. It is indeed 25 rounds for FaZe Clan. AWPs on both sides. G2 have a good buy. Can they bring this back? They need 2 from 2. Managed to go between the shot of Guardian. We've got some support flashes from Rain. As Carrigan charges towards the pit, but Shox has an opportunity, looks away, and that's where he will lie for this moment.
Oh no, Nico picks off Smith, who's pushing the B tunnels. That is a really big problem now, because the thing about this is that FaZe can rotate to B. If FaZe has cut noise, G2 have zero clue what the hell they're doing. How do G2 know where to put their players? It's just impossible to know. G2 could be seeing an A push in 30 seconds, or it could be a B push. And it'll be a numbers advantage for FaZe, that much is for sure. So they have to play a gamble, aggressively or defensively. This is a horrible situation. You're up against match point. What do you choose?
Nico may have heard the flash from the CTs on, was it a flash? No, it was a smoke on short, which may be telling of what G2 don't have. One thing is information, and they're looking for it. Body is towards the corner of long, and Kenny's moved into the car position, but it is complete guesswork against match point. And it's not Shox on the B-bomb site, it's existence. He is isolated, and a bit to be smokes are there. Kenny can look over the smoke towards that door area, running distance, watches the window. He sees 2 players, he gets a kill on 1. There's no time to reload under the window now, and he is completely blind. Nico once again in that mid position, waiting to cut off the rotators. Did Kenny see him? Did he come up on the radar? Kenny hunting for him, but he has disappeared. Body has a molly, so does Kenny. An AWP and an AK retake attempt. Now, these places can be Molotov. That's a different way to do it. Forcing Rain now into the open. The transfer almost is there. But that's one more left for Kenny, but no! Carrigan does it, and FaZe eliminate G2 and make it to playoffs.
Oh my god, G2, they gave a hell of a show, but they are going to be kicking themselves again and again, because this game, as you said, James, they had so many opportunities to close this one down against FaZe, and they were unable to do it. And you've got to hand it to them for having such a performance in overtime, and then for FaZe to keep it together.
Really strong start from FaZe to come back in normal time, fighting against so many game points. I don't know how many there were for G2, but at least G2 had a much better showing of themselves in Dust 2 than we saw in the first match. So there is a glimmer of hope for the team from our perspective, but I think really we should have seen 3 maps here.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think it's a huge silver lining for G2 to be able to take FaZe so many overtimes, and obviously they should have closed down the match, and they had the perfect start. They got the both pistol rounds, everything went well, and they didn't close it down. And again, lots of things to think about for them over the course of this tournament. What do you think is in their future, James?
Who FaZe or G2? G2. I don't know. We need more time to develop and see if there's enough fragging power in this team. Parla is in the gaming room with FaZe Clan.
The next decision I'd like to talk about, or just action in general, was when you had to save the AWP and you managed to get 4 kills. How was that round for you, and what was going through your head at the time?
Yeah, saving that AWP was really important for us, because I could drop AWP next round to Guardian, and yeah, everyone got excited that I just saved the AWP, we won the round. So it definitely helped us a lot in the next round in overtime. So yeah, it was just a good feeling to hit the shots and to save the AWP as well.
Now, Dust 2 for your team as a map, would you say it's one you're trying to build strength on? Because we've seen a close result here and then a not so favorable one earlier in the tournament.
Yeah, Dust 2 has been kind of shaky for us, or kind of inconsistent. And I think Dust 2 is just a map that any team can win right now, because people are still playing different ways, and you don't know, you don't they are just you don't expect some things they are gonna do, and the map is just like really fast paced, and if they just hit your first shots, if they hit your first shots,